Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's
Hi.
Roll20 presents Tomb of Annihilation. But I think the only things that are getting annihilated right now are some spiders, to be completely honest. You did it. You killed all the spiders, everybody. I'm very proud of you. So on the break, I took a look at this bit from Xanathar vis-a-vis area of effect on a grid. And let's just take a quick rules talk bit about this. So
Sure.
the way it works is to figure out the number of rows a cone contains, you divide its length by 5. For example, a 30-foot cone contains 6 rows. So a 15-foot cone contains 3 rows. To create the rows, you start with a square adjacent to the cone's point of origin. I'm going to switch over so we can look at this on the map. To create a cone, you start with a square adjacent to the point of origin, which is U. For every row beyond that one, put as many tokens as you played in the previous row plus 1 more. So you were wrong about it. Was 3, 2, 1.
I'm sorry.
It's totally okay. Yeah, it's just now we know. So that's how it goes.
So do I start it in the one adjacent to me or start it on me?
The point of origin is you.
Right. Okay.
So it's
if you're in a square, the next square gets 1, and then you put down 2 dice, and then you put down 3 dice.
Yeah. So for example, like if we were doing this at the table, we would use like D6s or whatever. But I could go like here, ball of light. So we could go. I'll give it an aura, red aura of 1. So you would place 1 here, and then like 2 more, and then 1, 2, 3, like that. And that's your cone of fire, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
So if you move, if it's like this, then it would be like 1, 2, 3, etc. So that's how that works. You can envision it an imagined like space like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So there you go. Now we know.
And I think that's the best way to do it on a grid from the options that it presents, because it's also like you can use a template and
do the Warhammer thing where you hold it over and look down with one eye closed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, doing ordnance templates and stuff. That's good shit.
Right.
I enjoyed that.
Well, and that's why like it's easier when it's a cone, when it's a square or like a sphere, which is actually a cube. That's why with Shatter I have this Shatter template, because for you it's always the same size, Arcturus. So when we use the Shatter template, I just drop it, and it's like anything the light touches is dead. So that's how that works. So when we fade back in, we see a narrow jungle path. We see some tiny bits of web hanging from the trees, and we see gloop dripping off of the trees, bits of spiders dripping onto the ground, and then lying in the midst of everything with a very concerned Triton kneeling next to her is Little Fox, who has been poisoned. Little Fox, you are in and out of consciousness.
I was gonna say, am I conscious?
I think no. You're at 0, so you're at 0, so you're unconscious. You're paralyzed and poisoned. But I think you're like flickering in and out, and you can feel you're in.
Oh, that would be some
amount of pain
trapped in your body.
So like Arcturus, one of these horrible land lobsters, has bit your friend.
Let's make a medicine check and see what I should do about that.
Mm-hmm.
I get a 12.
Okay. The poison, you first of all, your friend's not dead. So that's a thing to know. The poison has paralyzed her. You don't have the tools to make it go away, but based on the rate the poison seems to have spread, you figure someone like Little Fox should be able to process the poison and get it out of her system within about an hour.
Yeah, and so I think that I would look up to Ishi, who's like yammering at me about like, is she okay? Like, what's going on? And I'll be like, Little Fox will be all right. I don't think that I should. She appears to be paralyzed, and if I were to wake her, she would still be paralyzed, and that would be not fun.
Okay. So we just
Let
leave her until she feels better.
Until she's able to, like, I try and lift her arm, and like you can be like, it's like
Mhm.
And, like until she can move, I don't think I wouldn't want to be awake and not able to move my body. Personally, I don't think that's would
That's
be
like a pretty merciful thing. Like just
She's okay though. Yeah.
yeah, she'll be fine. I
Okay.
mean-
Well, then if we're waiting for her to get better, should we just stop here?
Surrounded by corpses of spiders seems as good a place as any, I suppose.
I mean, we know nothing else lives here.
Just another day in Chult.
So do you want to take a short rest here?
I doubt any of us could move Little Fox very far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you're talking, it's occasionally punctuated by like a growling that turns into like a loud as I like incinerate all the corpses like I typically do.
Also just walking around. It's
Yeah.
like we're watching Aliens. You're just walking around with the flamethrower, just torching them.
Yeah, pretty much.
And like
Um,
as soon as I get like Ishi like settled down, I immediately like collapse against a rock and like
Oh, are you okay?
I need to rest. What the fuck?
I don't know. It's an alien.
Really?
I just looked up to see if there are any xenomorphs, and there are.
Why?
I don't know, for fun. They burst out of the spider corpses. Are you wondering how you can get out of this chicken shit operation?
Yeah.
So let's roll a d4, Little Fox, and let's see if you come. You have a 1 in 4 chance of waking up as the poison leaves your system. Let's see. Do you want to roll it? Or do you want me to roll it? You got it. Okay. Do it. Yeah, perfect. All right. So at the end of the short rest, you will be awake and the poison will be gone. Now spending hit dice is a thing.
I'm definitely going to do that.
Anyone who wants to spend hit dice can do so. I guess you start at 1 hit point, Little Fox.
Do I come back at 1? Okay.
Yeah, you come back at 1. And I will calculate experience for everybody. Where's my calculator?
It's 600 each. I
Thank you.
didn't look it up, but I looked it up.
Dave was very excited.
So I get 21.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
how? No, hold on. It's not 600 each.
It's
They're
2,400 adjusted.
they're worth.
6.
There's 6 of them, yeah. And they're worth.
Sorry.
6 giant spiders is 1,200, 2,400 adjusted for a pie of 4 level 3s.
Okay.
What are
Sure.
you doing the math for?
Yeah, sure, that's fine. It's not for XP. Yeah, that's what I'm getting hung up on. You don't get the adjusted XP. You just get the regular XP. Yeah, that's right. Okay, you made me question myself there, Dave.
What?
It's 200 XP. 200 XP times 6 of them divided by 4. You get 300 XP apiece. Adjusted XP is only for calculating CR.
Do we get any XP on a short rest anyway?
Yeah.
Okay.
Short by like 45 XP.
So we get 300.
Yeah.
300, yes.
I'm sure by 5.
Short by 5. Oh no. Oh, you're death flagging hard. Brand new character art, 5 XP away from leveling.
Here's my
One day
thing,
for the
just like real quick. Technically, Little Fox during our entire short rest was passed the fuck out.
Mhm.
Do you still get to roll hit die?
I think in this case, like I'll allow it at the end because it's you wake up at the very last minute of the rest. I'm okay with letting you use the hit dice here.
Okay.
It's fine.
Obligatory reminder, if I'd been allowed to do meat grinder mode, I'd be level 4 by now.
Thank you for the obligatory reminder, Dave. I feel like your obligation has been fulfilled. So an hour passes in the steamy jungle with the smell of burnt spider corpse laying about before you set back out into the jungle on your way. So the rest of the day mercifully passes without event. You reach the end of the day, and you are able to rest, recover half your hit dice, all your hit points and spells, and the next morning we can roll for those things. You are not close enough to the river, so everyone needs to eat a ration.
Doing it.
Okay, so do that. Okay. And cool. Go ahead and the next morning you wake up and it is a rainy day in the jungle.
I would also like to posit that because we are not near the river, I put on insect repellent.
Nice. Yes. Yeah. Good call.
I've been putting it on every day.
Okay.
Okay,
good.
well.
Yeah. And I mean, either of those are appropriate, right? Like, you can tell me like, oh, I would have been putting it on if I tell you something bad happens, or you can remind me at the beginning that you're putting it on.
I've been tracking it for every single day of the campaign. We've been in the jungle.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So you ready up? Someone roll that blessing D4 for me.
What was that?
I mean, I don't care who. Someone
I
volunteer.
heard typing and I was like, is somebody doing it?
No, that was nice. Okay, so +9 today. Chance of you getting lost are pretty low, he says. Okay, and you're heading west. So by the end of the day, you'll know you're on the right track if you reach the river, the main river. And then you got to figure out how to cross it because Vengeance is on the other side. So,
Vengeance is always just a
Vengeance. Yeah.
all right, so let's see how this day goes. So you travel into the jungle.
So this is another ration.
Or
no, not yet.
this would be the end of the day. So this day goes by uneventfully. You've been in the jungle all day, walking what you believe to be west. Malik and Little Fox leading the way. And then yes, Arcturus probably to your your special relief. You come out of the jungle onto the muddy banks of the Ocean Star, and you can hear it's flowing, and you can feel the mist in the air of it rushing, and you emerge to its shores. Now I think you're probably at like a major tributary. Camp Vengeance is right up against the water, but you do have to be in the same hex as it. So tomorrow will be the day, but tomorrow will also be the day you need to cross the river. So we'll talk about how that happens. Would you like to try going fishing here, Arcturus? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, do it.
So that would be survival, you said?
Yes, please.
I fish.
Hell yes, you fish like crazy. All right, no one has to spend rations. It's another night of
Sweet, delicious fish.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, I don't have
between
that.
Arcturus's fishing skills and this infinite jug of mayonnaise you have, you can make some bomb ass sushi.
Some sweet ass tuna sandwiches.
Yeah.
I would
Oh,
think
yeah,
that
it's
the vinegar it makes would be better for sushi.
What do you carry on as rations? Oh, sausage and hardtack. How about you? A giant vat of tuna salad. Blah.
How about we have it
just
pour
with my little
out
kobold hands
Shoveling it into your face. Ew.
for our rations? We'll just
in
have
in my
rice,
pockets.
and then we'll have the alchemy jug make some rice vinegar. It can make 2 gallons, and then I'll get fresh fish from the river, and then we can have.
That's good stuff.
No,
All right.
we get 4 gallons of asahi.
Delicious.
It's
Kampai.
weird to me.
I like
In
it.
the D&D world, when prestidigitation exists, instead of training to be a chef, you would learn to be a wizard because you can make anything taste like anything else, like a cantrip.
Totally. Here, eat this cardboard paste. It tastes like steak.
Yeah.
All right.
So if I don't fancy fish, I'm just like.
So
yeah, I want
today is an uneventful day, but at camp, as the sun goes down and as the rainstorm of the day becomes the rainstorm of the night, you're sitting around your camp, I guess, discussing how to cross the river. Right? You got to figure that out. So what is this discussion like? Please.
Well, I don't see why we just can't haul some across.
Because not all of us are.
So here's the thing. Like I understand that you are confident in your swimming skill, but this is like the Congo, right? So there may be piranhas.
I'm joking.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just letting y'all know as a group, right? Like swimming is possible, but it would be very difficult. You'd have to be a very good swimmer.
Arcturus.
Yes.
Do you remember the story from the temple about the crocodiles?
I could not forget it if I tried.
So we could find a crocodile and ask it to carry us across.
Yes, we could. I could ask a crocodile. Could you? Do you talk to crocodiles?
Little
Ichi?
Fox could ask.
About you.
Yeah, and she had been doing something else, and when her name gets mentioned, turns and just says, "Crocodiles don't like people anymore."
Yeah, but I'm I'm more like a
And then goes
crocodile
back
than
to what
like
she
you.
was doing.
Okay, fine. It's a bad plan.
She's like House of Cards of logic, just
Yeah.
comes tumbling down.
So, this isn't strictly the way I've always typically used the spell, but I was wondering if I channeled some ice breath, whether I could perhaps freeze us a path across the river. It lasts a decent amount of time, and it's got quite a lot of force behind it, but it does move quite fast, and it's quite far across.
I was concerned with, I don't think that this river would freeze, even if it were in the climate to freeze. It is moving quite quickly, and the force of the motion would keep it from freezing. I don't know about magical means. We could certainly try, but
First of all, that's a great plan, Dave. Second of all, that's a D&D ass character plan. That's the kind of plan a Dungeons & Dragons character comes up with. We have a river. Somebody's going to be like, we could build a boat. We could construct a bridge. A D&D character's going to be like, yeah, but I could breathe ice breath and freeze giant blocks of ice together, and then we could run across. Nice. Good work. But I think the things that you would breathe, you could freeze some of it, but it would float away by the time you were able to like climb onto it and then do it again. It'd be very difficult.
No, I think Little Fox all this while has been like stripping bark from something to try to make like cord to lash together a little raft. I think that's the plan she's angling towards without actually talking to anyone, because that would be a character for her.
Yeah, Dave, go ahead and take inspiration for that. Oh, and Ishi as well. Elf, take inspiration from before. I forgot to give it to you.
Cool.
I already had some, damn it.
Okay, yeah, we need to start felling some trees then, I guess, if we're going to do a raft.
That's
Oh.
something we would do in the morning,
Yeah.
presumably. But is it on a scale where that seems like a reasonable course of action, Adam?
Yeah, the plan
My
is to what
character is
cut.
not a dunce. Like, she would know if this
Make
was
a
stupid
nature
idea.
check.
Is this nature or is this survival?
It's nature. The actual building of the raft would be survival. Okay.
I get an 8.
Yeah, I mean, you can't like without actually getting in the water and like seeing how fast, because it's pretty slow on the surface, but you know that the surface and underneath, it might be safe to raft across until someone falls off the raft. But if everybody stays on board, you figure you're probably okay. But you also know, because you're not, like you say, you're not a nature dunce. You know that you're not certain. You know that you don't really know.
and that we know that the river is dangerous.
Yes. Yeah.
Like properly dangerous, not just like, oh, you might get wet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it seems as good a plan as any.
Yeah,
otherwise,
I can't
otherwise
see
you'd
a
have to
lot of
follow
other
the
options
river
first.
until it's either slower and then like ford across it, or like
Or
there's.
that it ends, like if there's like a termination point to this river.
I mean, it comes from somewhere. You'd have to go up. Like, yeah, you have all this Chult ahead of you that you don't know anything about. So
I'd be happy to go with that plan. I can't think of anything better for now.
So yeah, like the next morning, the party gets woken up by Little Fox like pulling trees, uprooting trees, or like hitting them with a hammer to chop them down.
yeah, does anybody have an axe?
I don't have an axe.
no, I could. No, I don't have any magical means. I could just spell.
You could summon the fish whip.
Dude,
That's not going
whip-
to cut down trees with a whip. Thanks, Simon Belmont.
I mean, it
Um.
worked for him.
So did we? Sorry. Did we have a long rest?
Yes, yeah.
We slept.
Yeah.
Okay. And we get how many hit dice back on a long rest? Just one.
Half.
Half.
So one.
Rounded up or down?
Always round down.
Okay.
Unless one is like, because then you'd never get your last one back. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
You recover half of your, like a number equal to half of your total, but it's not like half the gap.
Yeah.
Half the difference.
Okay.
How are we going to cut down a tree? How are we going to cut down a tree?
God, I love
I mean-
Mr. Worth's suggestion. Just catch a sawfish and use that to cut the trees.
They're not native to this climate. They're saltwater fish. Damn it.
So
That's
what?
the only thing wrong with that plan.
The problem is we don't know how fast the river is going, like underneath the top.
I mean, I don't know
Yeah,
if
I
that's
feel like-
I don't know if that's the problem. That's
I mean, the
just
problem is there's
thing.
a giant fucking river.
I feel like
and we could
Arcturus
go
could
across.
definitely scout the river for us because you are so good
Yeah.
at swimming.
I'm
Like, you
also
have, like, a swim speed.
amphibious and I can
Yeah.
breathe underwater.
So you can like suss things out while we build the raft and then help kind of guide our raft along.
I supervise heavily on the building of the raft.
Good.
And yeah, I think like Little Fox is strong enough at strength 18 and is like enormous, like she's huge. I am confident that with rope and like a morning worth
I
of
have a
time, she
question.
could pull down a tree or two.
It's not
I
about
have a
pulling it down.
question.
It's shaping them, right? Because like a tree
Yeah,
has
that's the real
roots.
challenge.
Like you can't just break a tree in half with. You're not like strength 18 is strong, but you're not a giant or a god. So like busting a tree in half with your bare hands is very difficult.
No, but this is like
Can
like
I
in the Lord of the Rings where they tear down the trees using.
can I go down to the river and try and find like a frog or a fish or something and ask it to direct me to where the current is the softest?
Oh, that's a really good idea.
Because I can talk to fish and they like the same way that Little Fox can. Where is it? I can talk to things that breathe water, or that not breathe water. They
Aquatic
can-
beasts. You can communicate simple ideas with beasts that can breathe in water. They understand the meaning
And
of your
knowing about the
words.
currents is totally a thing. that-
Yeah, they can understand the meaning of your words, but they can't communicate with you.
They could probably just like swim over to where that is.
It might be miles and miles up the river, though.
Yeah, I mean you can try. There's no reason not to make an attempt. If that's.
I mean,
if
my
that's
thing
something you
is
wanna do.
I would be like, hello, fish person. Within like one sun passing, like, where's the best place to cross? Like, where's the nicest current or whatever? I
Okay.
would communicate with the fish in a way that the fish would understand to direct me to. I mean, obviously, because I would hope to.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
what do you
when
what do
I
you what do
roll.
you do? Describe the process here for me.
I mean, this is like you guys are all talking about like I don't know where to cross the river. Like it's such a big river. Should we do the ice thing? Like Little Fox starts like tugging at trees, and I think that Arcturus is like looking at the river, and I truly think that if it were just him, he would probably just attempt to swim across.
Hmm. So you leave the camp, which is a little inland, and you head down to the river, and you get to the edge, and the river's edge here kind of like tapers in on both sides. It's not like a rocky cliffside or whatever, but on your side, it's very dense, right? So it's like you're walking, it's like jungle, and then your next step would be into the river. So like a lot of these trees kind of stick out over the river, but you can see it, and you can make out just like through the trees, just barely on the other side of the river. You can see an encampment. You see, I'll read the description to you. So through the foliage, you see a crude timber fortification, a walled compound with watchtowers and tents inside it, encircled by a ditch bristling with sharpened stakes. A large gatehouse faces the river, which is what you're looking directly at now, on the shore of which are 4 rowboats tied to a wooden post. Scattered around the fort are piles of charred human corpses and flayed animal carcasses swarming with flies.
Gross.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the flaming fist are bad, but they don't like burn people.
It's not a flaming fist camp. But yes, yeah, it's a mess.
Okay,
Can
so
you-
I go down to the
Have
river.
we done a history test on this?
Yeah, it's the other one, the Order of the Gauntlet. But that was Camp Righteous.
Yeah, we haven't done a history test for this one.
Fucking oops.
Well, anyway,
Anyway.
I Arcturus go down to the river and I'm looking across and
Mhm.
I'm like, that's where we're going. All
Mhm.
right. It does look like a place that could use a visit from people who don't murder people. But I like go to like where it's like
Is that
you
us?
walk straight into the Yes, we don't always murder people, Ishi. And I think that Arcturus just like continues to walk a little bit into the river with the like tree roots and everything, and is looking around and looking for like a frog or like a fish or like something that's not going to eat him to have a conversation with.
Yeah, I mean, I think mostly they avoid you, right? Because you're a
There's
land
a thing
animal.
where I think he just sits down under the water and just like waits
Okay, sure.
until something comes close enough, and then like does this little like hello.
Okay.
And if the fish probably like goes like and then like waits a little bit more and says, "It's quite all right. I just," and then the fish probably like just, you know, goes away again and tries it again. It probably takes a little while, you know, fish.
Do you have any food or anything? Because usually animals like food.
Yeah, I've got some crappy dry ration bullshit.
Okay, yeah. If you mark off a ration.
I'll mark off a ration.
Yeah, and you like
That's-
crumble it into the river.
Anymore.
Yeah, a bunch of little fish like swim up when you crumble like food into the water, and so like
Yeah.
nibbling at it, and they're like around.
Yeah, and then it's really funny because I feel like Arcturus usually talks in a way that's like complicated and not necessarily accessible to fish, and he starts to do that and then can tell that they're just like, no, like I'm
Yeah, they're
not.
looking up at you with their big dumb fishy eyes.
And then he says, like, he dumbs it down like a lot.
Okay.
And he goes, within one sun, like he probably is saying something. I don't know. I don't talk to fish. He probably understands a little bit better than I do as a player. But he's asking, within one sun's passing, where is the place that the current is like softest?
The fish look up at you like they can't hear you very well because you're trying to talk to them through the like above the water.
No, I said I sat down in the water.
Yeah, but your head is above the water.
No, I meant in the water.
Oh, so you like go all the way underwater.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they're like swimming around you, and you're talking. And so little bubbles coming out of your mouth. And okay, got it. All right.
I mean, not necessarily.
Make
little
a
bubbles.
persuade
Water.
check.
Okay,
Persuade the fish.
I don't have inspiration, but 13.
13's enough to persuade some stupid fish. Yeah, I think that they show you like they swirl around and then they wiggle their way off and get you to follow them. So you follow. So you're like walking along the bottom of the river as it flows around you.
And I'm weighed down by my armor because I didn't take it off this time, but it's totally like Triton armor and it's not rusting.
Right. So we just see the scene of you walking through the mud at the bottom and they're swimming around you and like leading you through the water. And then yeah, they show you a place where the current isn't too bad. Fairly near here. There's a bend that slows the river down a little bit. Yeah, this seems like the safest place.
All right. So they leave me there and then I scatter the rest of the ration in the water and I do this like, well, thank you very much. And then I like push myself up to the top, look around and head to the bank.
Okay. You head off towards the camp, like back to your friends at the camp. And I think you maybe get a few footsteps away from the river when you hear like a wet, like flapping sound. Just like light, just this like sound. And you look around, you don't know where it's coming from. It's somewhere very nearby though.
Okay, I stop.
You can still hear it. Flapping noise.
Can I if I try to make as little noise as possible, can I pinpoint what direction
Very
it's coming from?
close. Like very, very close, but you can't quite pick out where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Perception check.
I mean, that's what I thought I was doing. I was stopping and trying to pinpoint which
Do you want to make a
yes, that was
perception
what
check?
I
Okay.
wanted to do. Yeah.
Okay.
Roll.
Well, if you want to make a roll, you can tell me. You can just say like, "Hey, can I make a?" Yeah, make the roll.
Okay. Yes, I would like to make a roll.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So you're just like something like you've stopped and you cannot figure out where it's coming from.
There's a fish in your pants.
It's very nearby.
Why?
What are you gonna do? What do you do?
Are you seriously doing that?
I'm asking you what you want to do.
Is it still making the noise? even though
Yeah, you
it's
can
not
hear it. You can
moving?
hear this like faint like flapping sound.
I like look around and I can't tell where it's coming from,
No.
and like I whisper like, Hello?
You don't hear anything. Like, I mean, you hear the flapping, the kind of panicked flapping sound.
You're seriously putting a fish in my pants.
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, you
I
totally
I did
are.
not say that. What are you gonna do?
You think I couldn't feel if there was a
You-
fish in my armor?
There's definitely no fish in your pants then.
It's totally one of the fish like tried to follow you out of the water or something.
I can't see it, so I like look around and I can't see it. So I would probably like move towards where I thought the noise was, but
The sound seems
perception-
to be following you.
God damn it, I don't know. But my perception check failed, so
You don't see it. You just know that there's a sound like this fish noise coming around you somewhere.
I guess I like try and like look around more. I don't like I would move towards the
Cast shatter. Well, I'm saying, so this is the thing that makes this like funny is that you keep turning around like where's the noise, and you walk and it follows you.
and like I'm moving towards where the camp is, and
Uh-huh.
like every so often stopping and seeing if I can still hear it.
Yeah, you still can.
Can I roll another perception
No,
check? I
no.
don't
You
have it.
made that check.
Then I just like weirdly like come to camp, and like
Okay.
as soon as I like hit somebody, I'm like
Okay, so
I
you walk back to camp. Little Fox is trying to like break trees, I guess. Like
I've changed my mind.
Okay,
She's
all
not
right.
trying to do that.
So the-
because it's too mean to the trees.
the group is around. I think Ishi, you're the closest one. You see Arcturus coming back, looking like very spooked.
So how's the water?
I found the fish found a place where the crossing is easier, but I swear something's followed me back. I can't.
And Ishi, you can hear a muffled like flapping sound. It's like gentle, quiet, like flapping sound.
I just like walk over to Arcturus and
Yeah.
take a look at Arcturus
Mm-hmm. Okay.
for any protruding fish nonsense.
Yeah, make a perception check.
Okay.
I hate you right now.
All right, so Ishi, you can hear it, but just looking at Arcturus up and down, you don't see anything. But you hear this
This
like
is an episode of Blue's Clues.
I hate
This is like,
it. I hate
where's
it
the
so
fish,
much.
kids? Where's
It
the fish? And it's like
it really is.
obviously visible.
Now both of you
from-
can't find it, but you hear just this faint like flip, 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 flip.
It would be dead by now.
No.
I
So-
don't know. I don't know. It seems fine. Do you have a
I-
tail under there, like caught on something?
No, I
or-
don't have a tail, Ishi.
Oh.
Anyway, I know where we can cross the river, but you still probably need a method of doing so.
Little
Yeah,
Fox is
so
working
Little-
on it.
Little Fox comes over
Mm-hmm.
because she wants to be shown the place in the river. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
so she just comes over and says, "Show me."
So Little Fox, you walk over and you can hear this like the sound, this like flapping sound.
This is. I don't even know what to make of this.
I don't like.
And yeah, so she just says, "Show me."
And then I would like turn around and like walk towards the thing, and the whole time I'm like occasionally like
Yeah.
stopping and like I swear I can hear something, but
This fish is the best.
I hate you.
So you're like,
Stealth
let me
operative
show
fish.
you. So the three of you
And I'm
haunted
walking
by
along and I hear this sound.
haunted by this like plip 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 noise. You walk back to the river, and
No.
yeah, you can see the river, and it's flowing slowly there.
Yeah. So there's the spot. Okay, I want to spend some time like contemplating this
Okay,
and how I might.
Arcturus,
cross.
what are you doing? Are you just gonna like stand by the?
I feel like by this time I think I'm going crazy.
Yeah, you kind of do. Uh-huh.
And so I probably like do that thing where like I take off my pack
Mhm.
and I'm sure I had originally left that at the camp
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But like I'm doing the thing where I'm like looking around and like trying to like look at my own back and like
Okay.
and-
Make an investigation check if you're gonna like fully like. Okay, what the hell's going on?
I'm really bad at investigation too.
Can't be
so-
worse than. Oh, yep.
I am worse.
So-
I'm
Audience, we all know exactly what's going on here, but what we get is a nice slapstick moment of Arcturus spinning around in circles like a dog chasing its tail, while a tiny red fish that's stuck in the back of his belt is just like flapping, and he just keeps turning around trying to see it. And
Told you there
just,
was a fish in
I
his
just
face.
can't do
I
it.
knew it.
It's this tiny little fish, and it's just stuck. It's stuck in your belt, but Arcturus is just like spins around and can't see it. Ishi, did you go with them, or is it just Little Fox and Arcturus?
Oh, Little Fox is surveying the river. I can't really help with that.
Okay.
So
All right.
Okay, and so Arcturus is over there, he's like spinning, he's like trying
Yeah.
to find the thing. And so eventually Little Fox just gets like irritated because he's distracting her.
Uh-huh.
And she like turns and sees the fish.
Yeah, you do.
And just like grabs it while he's spinning around, but
Mhm.
doesn't say anything and just like gently puts it in
So
the river.
yeah, you turn around, Arcturus, and see Little Fox placing this fish back in the water. Just a little red, like bright red fish. Just boom, put
Oh, and I go down to the river and I like lower my head really really close to the water and I say, "I'm so sorry, little one."
Yeah, it
and-
just like comes up to the edge of the water and just goes like boop, 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 and
And
just
I,
looks at
like
you.
I think I get like some crumbs out of like my pocket or my bag and like drop a little bit like little crumbs of
Yeah,
rations and I'm like,
it eats it and then swims away.
I was just looking for sweet rations.
Yeah,
in-
it wanted
in your
more of those
pants.
sweet rations.
can't believe you put a fish in my belt.
So meanwhile, while this is happening, Malik and Ishi are back at the camp. What are you doing?
I'm just sitting around this like dying fire with my little pet mouse, feeding it presumably tuna and mayonnaise. And,
Malik, what are you up
and-
to?
and being like,
So how long do you think it's gonna take them to figure out how we get over this river?
and not contributing at all. They're really helping
Right,
figure out
speculating,
a
but not
solution
no
at all.
contribution.
Yeah, exactly.
Malik is sulking, and you catch him mumbling about how if he hadn't got kicked out of Wizard College, he'd probably know the right spell for this.
Right.
And he's like, I freeze and walk across. Probably fly by this time.
So
Yeah, I know what you mean. Little Fox is the one who solves all problems around here. She knows where to go. She knows what to do and the stuff to talk to and the things to push over and the necks to snap. You know, she's really good at all that stuff. And I just follow her around basically and pretend like I'm in charge. But really, I don't know. She's pretty good at lots of things and I'm not very good at many things.
Have you ever tried growing wings? There are kobolds that do have wings, and I feel like it would be very
You
advantageous.
think if I could grow wings, I wouldn't have already done that?
Maybe you haven't tried it before.
Have you ever
mean,
thought of being a different kind of kobold?
I mean, I haven't tried it before, but I'm pretty sure they're born that like that.
Well, maybe.
Also, wings don't really help very much when you live in like small caves and stuff. So it's like a very specific kind of kobold that has wings.
All kobolds are born equal, but some kobolds are more equal than others.
Yeah, some are
Yeah.
urds.
So Little Fox back at the river. Yeah, it does. I mean, the fish seems to have led Arcturus to a place in the river that would be safe to cross, or safer anyway. And you can see the camp. You can see this like kind of unsettling campsite across
Yeah.
the river.
but they have boats. I
Mhm.
can see the little boats.
Yeah, there are 4 of them.
And so yeah, like Little Fox gestures you near and points at the boats.
Yes.
You could bring us a boat. I won't make you ride in it, but you go over there and get one.
I could certainly try. It is quite a wide river, but you know, I'm rather good at swimming. So, did you want me
Just
to
like a
do that?
fish.
I would suggest, just for safety's sake, how wide across is the river?
I don't know. At this point, like quite wide.
Like 150 feet?
I don't know how wide is I'm using the Congo as my like real river.
The Congo or the Amazon or something.
It increases. Wow, at some places the Congo is up to 5.5 miles wide.
Are you?
Yeah, but it's not
Okay,
here.
it's not
though.
in here.
Not in here, no. I mean, I would call it like a mile, probably.
I'm looking at the Amazon, and it in places exceeds 120 miles in width.
Are you
Yep.
shitting me?
The widest
That's
point,
big.
yeah, the widest point of the Congo is 8 miles across.
Are you?
It's a
What?
very big river. I think we underestimate as people who don't like live like on the Mississippi. It's a big ass
Yeah.
river.
That is
Certain
a
rivers are
lot of
huge.
water.
Yes.
Apparently, the Amazon accounts for about 1/5 of the world's total river flow.
Damn.
That's how big it is. It's 20% of the world's river water is in the Amazon.
Damn.
The Amazon is probably way bigger
It's
than the
fucked
one
up.
we're dealing with. This is like on the scale. of
Okay, so there is absolutely no way that we have enough rope for you to keep a hold of me while I.
Oh hell no.
No, absolutely no. This is like stealth commando Arcturus mission that she is suggesting you go to do.
Yeah.
And if you hesitate, right, you're hesitating a bit. She just says, "Oh, we're taking the boat over there. We give it back to them." It's not.
Oh, of course. No, I wasn't concerned with the ownership of the boat. It appears that most of the people who may have owned a boat on that side of the river are dead. But that being said, if, let's say, I were swept away, it would be very difficult to get back. You see, the river is incredibly wide, and I have to say that directionally, I'm not quite as good as you and Malik on the. If I go alone, I'm not quite sure that I could guarantee I get back with a boat in tow.
Didn't you talk to the fish to find the right place?
I mean, yeah, that would probably give me advantage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Just
Yeah, and she gives you this look.
I'm just like
Yeah,
fictionally,
I
it's
understand.
possible that I get lost.
Yeah, and she gives you this look that's kind of like stunned, and it's just like, no, you swim too well for that. You won't
I'm
get
not
lost.
going to die, but I could still get lost. And then I say, all right, well, do you have some rope to tow the boat on the surface while I'm underneath the water?
Yeah, and she like fishes in her pack and pulls out. I'm carrying everyone's rope, so I have plenty
hey,
of rope.
so question while we're talking about packs, is everything that Little Fox owns currently being held by Little Fox, or is there like some of it at camp?
No, she's carrying all of her shit.
Damn
all the
it.
time. No messing around.
What
with this.
about Arcturus?
My backpack was at camp.
Sweet. I'm gonna look through it.
Uh, in my bag, you would find a leather-bound diary, bottle of ink, an ink pen.
I'm totally gonna read your diary.
Yeah,
And
I'm
then
going
there's-
to also.
There's also a journal,
Awful.
a journal from my mentor filled with lore and wisdom.
what's your first language though? What do you write in?
Oh, my first language is probably let me Triton.
It's primordial, right?
primordial. It's primordial like water
Water, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if Primordial has a written form.
component. Yeah, I'm looking at what it says for Triton. Just give me 1 second. Volos. Pull up that Volos that I definitely have in
Yeah.
regular and not in any other thing.
Yeah, I've got it here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just typed Volo.
It's one.
Well, it wouldn't tell you. It would just tell you what you speak. It wouldn't tell you whether there's a written.
I think
form of it.
I think the written form is Dwarven text is the text form for.
Yeah, because in Aquan there'd be nothing to write on. Right. You
Yeah.
can now here you go. You can speak, read, and write Common and Primordial. So there is a
Okay, there is a
written form of it.
Primordial. Yeah, so it's written in Primordial because that's my native language. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh well, I guess I don't spend much time reading that then.
You look at it and it's like all like swirls and scrolls and shit, and like some things that look kind of like a shell, and yeah.
Oh, come on. I was hoping for the And I miss Azaka so much. Pages,
I mean,
where are those?
I'm assuming that names that are in languages that aren't primordial, you might see her name written in.
I'm just like going through it. There's like primordial, Azaka, primordial.
Well, yeah, is primordial like Japanese? Does it have a separate alphabet for loan words?
I doubt it. I probably write in common for like Azaka, Chult, like you know.
All right. So
But,
what
yeah,
is
you find my diary, but you can't read it.
what is the plan, Arcturus? Are you going to swim across and try to get a boat?
Yeah, I would probably, because it's so far distant, and I'm definitely not going to be able to reach the bottom the whole way. I would probably like shirk my armor and drop my shield. I'm keeping my trident with me. And I've got like how 50 feet of rope like tied around my waist, and I'm like, well, I hope to see you soon, and if I don't see you soon, well, I mean, I hope to see you, let's just and then just
just jumps in the water. Okay, so mechanically I have to ask you some stuff. So are you going to try to be stealthy?
Guidance.
I mean, of course I'm getting guidance from Miss Titia. Like,
right, but I need to ask you how you're doing this. Are you trying to be stealthy, or are you trying to focus
Dave
on
was just whispering
swimming?
At me. I am
you can
trying
make
to focus on swimming.
Okay, so you can make an athletics check with advantage, or you can make an athletics check and a stealth check, but neither would have advantage.
I'm trying to focus on not.
Okay, so you don't care if anyone sees you swimming across the river. Okay.
Not.
Right.
I mean, it's probably a mistake, but no.
Okay, and I think you have advantage on the stealth check because you're underwater. You can breathe on. You don't have to surface.
Yeah, no, I don't have to surface.
Okay,
I can
all right.
just
So make I mean, the two of you have been goofing around on the other side anyway, but that's fine. Okay, make that athletics check.
Okay. And is Tishia bless me?
Mm-hmm. No problem. No
24.
problem. Okay. And then make a stealth check.
Okay. This is for boating.
No, this is just for approaching.
Oh, well. It's either really bad or really good.
No, it's great because you're
great.
swimming mostly underwater, right? So you're just causing ripples. So they probably saw you if they were looking. They probably saw you on the other side of the river, but they don't know that you're approaching.
Are you wearing your armor?
No. She specifically said she wasn't. Yeah. Okay. All right. So Arcturus dives into the slightly murky water because it's slower here, right? So it doesn't run as clear. You dive into the murky water and begin swimming across towards Camp Vengeance. And so I think that's what we see as we fade to break, right? Is the camp, the ditch full of bodies, the corpses piled up around its outsides, and it looming darkly ahead of you. You begin to swim towards it. So we'll take a short break here, and when we get back, we'll see what lies on the other side of this ocean star. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.